Tell you, I had a dream last night of an old friend of mine and his sister, and his mom. I'm using an example of him and his sister. So I say, well, your sister protects you when this and this and this happens. And before I could finish, he gets mad and runs out of the room. And she runs out behind him, and the mom is looking at me and I'm looking at her, and I was like, wait, is it something I said? Wait, she looks at me like, it is something you said. I'm like, that ain't my fault though.
Welcome to another episode of As A Man Readeth. This is Trey D
and Goolsby.
And we have another wonderful book for you. This series of episodes. It is the 4 agreements. That leads us into agreement 2, though, that don't take anything personally.
Yeah.
Because how people are responding is based upon where they are. You know, you've heard me say this a lot, that, you know, we live, lead, and experience life not from the outside in, but from the inside out. And everyone needs to understand that. I think everyone needs to put that into practice in some particular way. Hold that as a presupposition for life, that everyone is in their own story, and we intersect here and there. But a lot of times we just think non-player. We don't know what's happening. But I thought that was good when we talk about don't take anything personal, because they are living their experience. They're living their beliefs. And that's more on them than it is on us.
And that if that's the forethought. And that's what I'm saying. When we're doing this book right now, is so great. Let me tell you, I had a dream last night of an old friend of mine and his sister, of a friend and his sister. And his mom was in the room as well. His mom is a teacher, just happens to be, or a former teacher. And so in the dream, I'm using an example of him and his sister. So I say, well, your sister, for example, your sister protects you when this and this and this happens. And before I could finish, he gets mad and runs out of the room. And she runs out behind him, and the mom is looking at me and I'm looking at her, and I was like, wait, is it something I said? Wait, is this something I said? Now, at that moment, she looks at me like, it is something you said. And in this moment in time, in the dream, I'm like, that ain't my fault though. That ain't my fault. So why? But I'm about to start acting like contrite. I'm about to start saying, oh, my bad, I didn't mean. And I was like, yeah, no, okay. Okay, so we're there. And then she's looking at me like, you should feel bad. She doesn't say it, but it's like, you should feel bad about what you just did. But I'm not, right? And so then I say, so what did I do though? Because he ran out. I don't even know what's going on. Then she says, because you were being dishonest with what you said. And I was like, that's not true. Like in my head. And then I woke up, right?
Okay. And
I was like, that dream was telling me something. Someone else trying to make me feel a way. And we've been domesticated. Say you're sorry. I'm not sorry. He took my toy and he shouldn't have took it. Told him not to take it. What do you want me to do? So anyway, I just said that to me was like, that don't take anything personally has something to do with the domestication of how we have been, how we act. That whole thing was like, oh, my bad. I'm sorry. My bad. I'm sorry. Just saying words now that don't even mean anything, going back to your word needs to be impeccable, right? Yeah. It's like, so they're connected. Like they are like that.
Yep. Okay.
Oh yeah.
So it was like, oh man. So we know that one of the key signs of maturity, especially spiritual maturity, is being unoffendable, right? Yes. To be unoffendable. Do you think it's better to be unoffending or unoffendable? Or is that just a terrible question? Because I think it can be, You
already know my answer to that, but
what's that?
I don't think it's a terrible question. I think it's better to be unoffendable, because at that point, you are not afraid of speaking the truth or your truth until it is then corrected. That's why I think with Martin Luther King, because we're also reading that book, with nonviolence, it's like, I'm not doing nothing to you. Why you hitting me? Because I want equality and equity.
Yeah.
Not and in the yamas and nayamas, I think it's the first. I don't want to lie. It's the yama and nayama, but nonviolence is the first tenet. Nonviolence. If you start there, everything else should go. You can build from nonviolence. How do I get
Going back, that's also puts us. Let's go back to Wallace, where he talks about in a non-competitive way.
Boom. Correct.
You know, violence is always competitive. Violence is always it is competitive every time. Yeah. So I was thinking the same thing. I think being unoffendable is key. I think that's where I want to be, and I don't have a control over. I have a certain amount of control over what I can say, but it would also put me in a place where I have to always basically read the mind of the individual in front of me and know their beliefs, know their values, know their trigger points, know their state of mind, all of that stuff as I'm communicating.
Man, bro.
What? That is going to be, so it maybe makes sense that we live in the don't make assumptions. Well, not as don't make assumptions. Don't take anything personally.
Okay.
Right. Understand that they're saying something and I'm saying something, and what they are saying and their intent is still going against or fighting with or trying to dance with my interpretations and my filters all the time. Right. And we can dance really well together, or we can step on toes. And that's when somebody gets offended, or there's just some sort of miscommunication.
Correct.
So, but if we don't take offense and we don't take anything personally, because everyone's living their own story, and we're just like, to them, we're a non-player entity in certain ways.
NPC.
NPC. We, there for a moment as they continue their story and their journey. So that's the way I started thinking about it, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. This don't take anything personally.
Think about what that does to like self-esteem though. Like it puts you in a totally different, like you're not contrite about, like you get to say I'm saying what I'm saying. If you're going to be in a place, if you're going to be impeccable with your word, okay, this is what I believe. This is what I'm saying. This is how I'm moving, and so on. Right. Then you come back and you get into a particular environment and all of that stuff goes out the door or gets squashed.
Woo! What? I almost took that personally, man. Anyway. Agreement too. Don't take anything personally.
Yeah, man. Everybody's living from their own story, getting us into that space. So I hope you all enjoy this episode.
Yeah. Give people grace. Give yourself grace.
Well, this is Trey D.
And Goolsby.
And signing off for another episode of As A Man Readeth. I hope you all enjoy this book as we are. Continue reading with us. Send us a comment. Be well.
Read a book.
And keep on.